Hey you guys, it's Yesenia from WriterMom.net, and I'm here today finally giving you guys the video of everything that I learned at 20 books to 50K. Got Celeste here with me today, just keeping it real, hashtag mom life. Her sitter is actually already traveling for the holidays, so guess who's been hanging out with me all week? But I've actually been really surprised at how many words I've been able to write this week after taking so much time off and then struggling to get back into the writing groove. But somehow I've managed to write 7,000 words this week, and with this little one home, so I've been very, very happy with that. But today, like I said, I've been meaning to bring you guys this video for a while. The 20 Books conference was about a month ago in Las Vegas. That was a blast. Let me see if I can get our movie on, kind of multitask while I get you guys going. So it was in Las Vegas about a month ago. Oh, now she wants to talk. Usually she's so shy and quiet, and now she's wanting to share some stuff with you guys too, I guess. But so it was about a month ago. It was at it was at Las Vegas. The conference was. It was my first time there in Las Vegas, so that was really cool to go and see, this big city, and it was. I know a lot of people love Las Vegas, and they're like, oh, I just really want to go, and it's on their bucket list, and it was cool, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I just have to go back, and this was amazing, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely, lots of lights everywhere and people everywhere, and of course, it's a big city, so I'm like, where's the grass? It's just concrete everywhere, but it was a cool experience, and go see the sights a little bit with my friend Kelsey. She had been there before, so she kind of knew the ropes a little bit, whereas I was like, yeah, I've never been here. I have no idea where the strip is or anything. But it was cool to see the strip and go see what is it, the Heart Attack Grill or something? It was crazy, but it was cool. It was cool to get away for a few days. I think as a mom, I really needed it. And it was a nice little mom break, and then of course just getting to hang out with all my author friends that I've met at Smarter Artist, and then making some new author friends, hanging out with my friend Kelsey, doing some masterminding with her, learning tons and tons of new stuff at the conference, and kind of just seeing cool people like Chris Fox, Lindsay Broker, Michael Anderle, Brian Cohen, lots of cool people that I got to see. Damon Courtney from Book Funnel, Mark LaFay from Kobo, now Draft to Digital, just lots of cool people. So that was really cool. And I actually have a Google Doc with 15 pages of notes, but I'm not sharing those. I'm not going to sit here and go through those 15 pages of notes. So during the conference, what Kelsey and I did, hey Kelsey, if you're watching this. So what we did is we got these little notebooks. So she actually hand wrote during the conference and then transcribed all of her notes to a Google Doc. I went the opposite. I type a lot faster and of course a lot neater. So I took notes in a Google Doc during the conference, ended up with 15 pages of notes, and I didn't even go to everything. I went to most everything. And then I sat down, went through all of the 15 pages in the Google Doc, and I only wrote down, I guess, the biggest takeaways, action notes, things I want to take action on, the things that move, I think would move the needle the most for me or anybody else, but especially me. And just the things that I really want to come back to and make sure that I take action on or keep in mind or whatever, that the biggest things, the most important takeaways. So that's what I'm gonna go through today, and it's just 6 of these little pages. So I'm excited to get started. I don't know about you. Let me just get her movie started. I'm just about there. Yeah, and I don't know what she's doing right now. I just hear her over there in the kitchen, but I'm hoping the movie draws her back so I don't have to get up and go, okay, she's back. But if she asks for a snack about every 5 minutes, so let me turn this down. So if I have to like run and go get her a snack, I'll be back. You know, she's an 82-year-old. She loves to eat. And you can already tell a certain little someone got to my notes already. So look at this. Okay, so just a few things here. So some of the major things, I'll just like start and keep going. If you have any questions or comments throughout this, if you need me to come back and clarify, I'm happy to do that. Just leave a comment, whether you're on my blog or on YouTube, or if you want to shoot me an email and like talk a little bit more about something. My email is hello@writermom.net, so feel free to do that. So Craig was saying, nothing sells your last book like your next book. So I thought that was good. That's just always such a good thing to keep in mind. Always be working on your next book. Write consistently. Like this is really like 80% of the business is just being consistent. Always be working on putting out the next book and the next book and the next book. Like publish consistently, write consistently. He said, my marketing is velocity. Quantity is marketing on its own. Like, I'm like, oh, that's so true. And especially for him, because he's really prolific. He puts out tons and tons of books a year. I did 4 this year. That's double what I've been able to do in the past. And he puts out like probably well over a dozen books. And so for him, just staying at the top of the Amazon algorithm, staying like always having something new for his readers to read, like, that's its own velocity. That's its own like awesome marketing. He said a little bit, even if you just do a little bit every day, that really adds up. Don't miss 2 days in a row. Dig deep and write. He said that because he said, like he doesn't, I'm not sure if he has kids or if they're grown, but he says, I know a lot of you have little kids, you have pets, you have family that you're caring for, you have like maybe an illness or something like that going on. A lot of you have something going on that really takes away from your writing, whether it be time or energy or both. And like, that's hard. Like that's legitimately hard. But the important thing that you have to do is just keep working at this a little bit every day, because that builds momentum. And once you can get momentum going, like I love momentum. Momentum is great. And it just adds up. It really adds up. So just dig deep and write. And I think I learned this the hard way the past several weeks where I didn't write. I lost so much momentum, and it was so hard to come back to it and get back into the story. It took over a week just to like figure out how to get back on track within the story. So dig deep and write. I'm not missing 2 days in a row anymore. So even if something major happens, if I can do 100 words, that's, I'm staying on the right track. So, and then he said, know what your goals are. He said, so I wrote down, know what your goals are, because he said like, he wants to reach like $100,000 a month. Anybody can reach $100,000 a month. It's just a matter of working for it. But then the takeaway that I came up with, I mean, when I heard that, I was like, that's fine. I don't need $100,000 a month. If I'm going to have to work 100-hour weeks and not see my kids and sacrifice my health and slowly kill myself because I'm not working out, I'm not even getting up from the couch or from my desk, I'm not eating right, I'm just like eating fast food because I'm just like working, and I'm burning out, and I'm like not taking care of myself and not having time to like, just for me, just to read, just to like veg out. Like, no. I'm fine with $10,000-$20,000 a month. I don't need $100,000 a month. Like, I'm fine. So it's really like, just know what you want, know what your goals are, know what success means for you. I want financial success. Like, money is a big part of this for me. Like, I want to make my own money. Like, that makes me happy. That makes me feel like validated. But at the same time, I don't need to be making $100K a month if that's gonna if that means sacrificing everything else. So I thought that was interesting. That's something like that just always comes to mind when I hear people say like, they're hustling and they're like, I don't know, like so many people pride themselves on like just working. And it's like, you never take a break. You never like come back refreshed, or spend time on you or your health. And, you wonder why. So He said to get to the next level, get an assistant, get some of that time back, because I think the more successful you are, the more like your time is precious. Never give up. That's when you fail. So that's a good point. And then something from like, I know that was Alex from K-Lytics that he said was interesting. 87% of the royalties that Amazon pays out go to the books with 50K rank or less. So 87% of the royalties Amazon pays out to authors, they're going to those books that have a 50K rank or less. So that to me was super interesting. So I wrote down stay below 50K because that's where the money's at and that's where most people are getting paid. New sells more. So again, keep those new releases coming. You got to master quantity and quality. You got to find that balance that works for you between like being consistent, like I said before, publishing consistently, but also putting out like a good book. The teen market, since I write YA, I wrote down that there's a big share of paperback and hardback. So, something to think about. Maybe I'll put out my books in hardback. I don't know. And then I think audio was super tiny. Romance, the audio was a small share. Paperbacks to ebooks is where it's at for romance. And the top 50 indie authors. So the top 50 indie authors on Amazon. Alex from K-Lytics went and like researched this, and he said that each of them has more than 15 books in the top 24,000 listing at any point in time. So those top 50 indie authors who are killing it, and they're top 50 on all of Amazon, they have more than 15 books in the top 24,000 rank at any point in time. So it's like, there you go. Get to 15 books. Make sure, write them to market and make sure they're 24,000 or better. So, there you go. Uh-oh. We got a boo-boo over here. Okay, she's fine. The most important number on a book's page is the overall rank. So he said, yeah, those little tags or stickers for #1 new release or #1 bestseller, they're cool, but really, when you get down to it, the most important number on a book page, and I agree, is the overall rank. Gauging trends. Okay, so seeing like what's going to be trending or what's going to be coming up. He said, pay attention to Google Trends. There's like a hockey stick shape. I can't remember exactly what he said about that. Maybe like, I don't know, I guess it just goes up like a J or something. But, you see whatever's going to be really, really hot and selling, you're going to see it on Google Trends first. And then a few years later, really, it's when it shows up on Amazon and with books and everything. And so I think he saw that with Twilight and like why Bella Forrest is just so incredibly successful is because she saw that and she capitalized on the whole vampire trend before it even became big. Everybody thought, vampires are dead, like they were popular, but now they're not selling, and she knew like that it wouldn't. So she was there and she was ready and she capitalized on that. And so then I wrote down trend for YA romance. So, and I put a question mark because, I want to go in and research that. What's trending in YA and with young adults right now. I want to know that so that I can kind of know how to position myself or my books to be ready for that. He said, understand emotional resonance. What emotional resonance do your readers want? Who's reading your books? Let me see here. I'm not sure if this was still Alex's presentation, but I just keep going. I wrote it right under that. So what emotional resonance do your readers want? Like with romance, they want that feeling of like falling in love again, or like, that kind of feeling. If they're sci-fi, maybe they want adventure, they're basically living vicariously. So what are they wanting to experience? And then high contrast cover. Again, so it just pops at thumbnail. You want a high contrast. The romance why readers read romance is they want to go from feeling alone to feeling happy or feeling, that romance. They want to live vicariously. The This is another author. She said, invest back into your business. Find your one thing that you're a ninja at. This is the author who said this. I can't remember her name, but she's made millions and millions, and she writes under different pen names. I was like looking her up and everything. She's killing it in romance. And she said, invest back into your business. Find your one thing that you're a ninja at and don't outsource that. So for her, that's Facebook ads. She's awesome at Facebook ads. She knows how to do them. She's learned them. She's mastered them. She makes tons of money off of them. She doesn't outsource that. She does them herself every single day and keeps her business growing. She said track when it comes to Facebook ads. And something that she said, I'm okay losing money for the first 10 days of launch. So she like really ups her ad spend because she wants to get as high as possible, and she's okay if that means losing money in the first 10 days. For you, it might be 5 days or 20 days or whatever, but kind of think about that. Like, I know with my first launch for the series, The Real Cinderella, like, I was okay doing a lot of ad spend, even though it was a 99-cent release, and losing money, but I just wanted to get that book out there as much as possible, make a huge splash, get it as high in my main category as possible, and I did that, and I'm still seeing good results. And that book has made like almost $10,000 at this point. So brand recognition, she said that's important. You need to be advertising after you publish a few books. Definitely, you have to be advertising, whether it's Facebook, Amazon, whatever it is. Michael Cooper, when he started doing that, he went from making $600 a month to making $30,000 a month. So again, like I drew an arrow because that's later on, but like it's like I was recognizing like these commonalities in the different things authors were saying. She said, little pockets of time add up. How can you move your business? I think this was Michael Laron. He said, little pockets of time add up. How can you move your author business forward in those little tiny pockets? Add, edit, delete within your life. So you might need to get rid of things that you're doing that you're wasting time on, whether it's related to your, author business or not. You might need to edit or change how you do something. You might need to add. So he said he writes his books on his phone, like on the go, in the grocery store, here and there, just little minutes of time. I thought that was interesting. So I've actually, I have Scrivener on my phone now, and I have it synced, and I don't like writing on my phone, but I'm like, maybe I can outline or edit. I could do that. So trying to think about how I can do that. He said, embrace fear. Don't let it get the best of you. Protect your time. Get your time back. Hire a team to help you. Use dictation. So I could maybe use dictation for beats, because dictation for writing I've tried it before, and while I could get really high word counts, it was hard to go back and edit it and figure out like what I was writing. So I don't like editing to begin with. So I'm fine drafting on the computer and typing, but maybe I can use dictation for beats. Michael Cooper, again, he went from $600 a month to $30K in a month thanks to ads, and he does Facebook, Amazon, and Pinterest ads. That's another thing I heard a lot at the conference is a lot of people are starting on Pinterest ads, and that seems like it's going to be the next kind of big thing. He said you need to know what's selling your books, know how much a sale is worth. So he has a spreadsheet that you can download. I'm sure if you Google it or search in the 20BOOKSTO50K group, you'll find it, and you just plug in your numbers and it'll tell you. Let's see. He said, for example, if you have a 15 cents cost per click, and 1 out of 30 people, 1 out of 30 clicks are buying, then you're spending $4.50. So are you making money, losing money on that? Like if you have a series, maybe you're making money, but if you don't, think about that. Read through. Like I even underlined that. I think that's key because again, like it's always about putting out the next book, and you want to have your readers go from this book they just read now to the next one. So you want them to finish. You want to hook them. You want to make them go to your next book and be like, I have to read this. Like that's so important because the higher read through you have, the more ROI you're going to get from your advertising. So that to me was like huge, like gotta focus on that. My read through. Most readers read 3 to 4 books per year. So that's like the lion's share of readers. Is they're not these whale readers. That's actually a smaller percentage. But most readers, they're just like more casual readers. They may only read 3 to 4 books a year. You want to target them because that's such a huge pool of readers that you can be getting to. And he had lots of ways that you can get to those readers, which I'll get to in a minute. He also advises using the AMS Advantage dashboard, which is like really hard to get into. Like he gave instructions, but I've been having a hard time doing it. A lot of people are having a hard time doing it, and it has pros and cons to switching to that dashboard. Like you're gonna lose some things, but gain some things. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn about that at the moment. Print. He advertises in print, like in magazines and stuff. He writes sci-fi, so there's like this sci-fi magazine. It's relatively popular, and he was surprised that he actually got a lot of, he was selling books through that. He had a QR code which led to his website. The website had a pixel, a Facebook pixel, and from there he just retargets them over and over until they basically succumb and buy his book. He said you wear them down, so you just bring them to your website from whatever, you retarget them, make sure you have that Facebook pixel on your website. He does this too with Pinterest. So again, maybe it's like some kind of article about related to your genre or the kind of books that you write. It doesn't even, like, you wouldn't set it, the Pinterest side, you wouldn't set it to go directly to Amazon. It would go to your website for like, I write YA romance, so maybe I could do 10 books to read if you love To All the Boys I've Loved Before or whatever. And then my book could be included, obviously, but then they're coming to my website, they're reading this, maybe they're repinning it because they think it's cool or whatever, sharing it with their friends. But then again, I have that Facebook pixel there, and then I'm going to retarget those people on Facebook. So it's like you're warming them up, making them aware of you, and then now you're going to try to sell them your book. And he does custom and lookalike audiences from those. He also does video ads again, and then retargets anybody who viewed 10 seconds or more 4 days later. And again, just retargeting them. For Facebook ads, he just keeps it to mobile, iOS only. He's seen better results with that. Make sure you have evocative images for ads. Just ads that, like pictures that just make you stop. For romance, maybe it's just super pretty and it's like a cute couple about to kiss. Or for fantasy, maybe it's a cool dragon or sci-fi. Maybe it's a cool like spaceship or something, like something that makes the people on Facebook stop and like connect and like drop some kind of emotion. ¿Qué pasó?
Luna.
Luna.
Ma.
Ve por ella.
Ma.
What is it? Ve a buscar a Luna. Okay, so Patreon. So that's in my plans for 2019 is to set up a Patreon. That's another way that he makes money. And so some of the things he does is like Christmas cards, calendars. They're not really money makers, but Celeste, prende la luz. Thank you. So that's some of the rewards he does. And then the calendars, he mentioned that like those are like images or whatever, cool images that from his designer or like book cover photographer person that you can't get anywhere else. So again, for your super fans, but they're willing to pay for that and they want that stuff. Hi. Video on your page. Oh yeah, so anytime you do like a video on Facebook, like a Facebook Live or something, or upload a video, make sure it's on your page, not on your group, so that you can use it as an ad later if you want. Facebook ads, widen net. So I don't know what I meant there. If he said cast a wide net. Keep fans engaged with your characters. Let me see. Okay. Keep fans engaged with your characters. It's really what it boils down to is the characters. They fall in love with their characters. Humor greases the wheels, but really it's the characters that your readers fall in love with. Let me see how much. Okay, I just have like one more full page. Okay, this one author I met has these little pamphlets that she made on Ingram Spark that she gives away, and I think it has like the first chapter or two in there of her book, and it's like a tiny little pamphlet, has the cover on there, and if you flip it, it's a sample of another book, so it's actually like two samples in one. And she got them on Ingram Spark, and I thought that was cool. So I mean, they take up less space, they're cheaper, and you can just give them away. And you could have like a book funnel link or a email sign up link or like a QR code that goes to Amazon. Lots of cool stuff you could do there. Luna, Luna's chewing on something over there. Let's see. Limitation. Okay, there we go. Celeste took care of it. Limitations are what you make of them. Don't. Can't read my own handwriting. I can't tell what that says, but he said limitations are what you make of them. That's really cool. I think that was Michael Anderle who said that. Yeah, because he was talking about like. He said, "What infrastructure do you need to have? What infrastructure do you need to have in place to reach your goals? So don't like let yourself be limited by what you think is possible or not possible." So like he was talking about how like he needs editors to have like a really fast turnaround, like not weeks, but like 24 hours or 48 hours, and like he made that happen, and that's why he has this huge empire, because he doesn't let limitations hold him back. He like works, he gets rid of them. He said, care enough about yourself not to make excuses. That's kind of good. Something we all need to hear from time to time. Care enough about yourself not to make excuses. I think that was another author. The one whom the millionaire, whatever it was. And then I just wrote something down here where I was like thinking about numbers and sales figures and stuff like that. So like this year, so like for a long time, I sold an average of like $600, $400, $700 worth of books a month. This year, I finally cracked to where I'm like a steady 4-figure author, so like $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Now I want to hit those next few levels. So I wrote down like for $5,000 a month, that's $166 a day. For $10,000 a month, that's $333 a day. For $30,000 a month, that's $1,000 a day. So it's like, I think if you want to have these goals you want to reach, maybe it's $100 a month, maybe it's $1,000 a month, or whatever it is. Break it down. Know these numbers. Keep them in your head all the time, because that's what you're working toward. You have to keep it top of mind. So that's what I did there. And then the James Blatch, who did the presentation all about video, was really good. That was one of my favorites. I'd like to vlog writing a novel or something. I think what's his name, Garrett Robinson, does this. He goes on Twitch. He writes his book live, and it's like, you're already doing it. Why not just go live? Maybe you'll find a few readers, or a few of your existing readers will come on and watch, and you're going to turn these regular readers or people who didn't even know you into super fans. And maybe it's not 100 people. Maybe it's not even 50 people. I think he gets just like a 5 to 10 people, but I mean, they're reading along, they're giving him feedback. They're like, this is awesome. Like, keep going. And like those people, if they're dedicated enough to sit there and watch you write and read the story as you're creating it, like those are super fans. So I put live stream your writing or editing. So I thought that was cool. And then Be Live TV was another big thing. If you want to do Facebook Live, Be Live TV was a good thing, but you need to do it on your desktop. That's the only thing. Like, I want to get like a better camera, because right now my phone camera is better. So a lot of times I do it on there. But I like Be Live because it lets you have like a little call to action, or you can put comments on there, or like bring somebody else on. So that's kind of cool. And then me and Kelsey actually, like, we both write YA romance. So we actually went live at the conference in our hotel room, but we each just used our phones and went live from each of our phones at the same time. So, and we went ahead and did that. And I was already doing lives a little bit, but now I'm like, I know I need to be more consistent with them, and just like, because your readers are hearing you, they're seeing you, you're interacting with them. So it's like, take your existing readers, turn them into super fans. It's not really for selling more books or like finding new readers. It's for taking your existing readers and just really just staying top of mind with them, let them know what's going on, giving stuff away to them, like turning them from fans or readers into super fans who will just like buy anything you put out and love you. He says you could have a weekly live video, like make a graphic that you share, and like maybe a comments with questions or whatever. You could bring on guests, do a cover reveal, give away advanced reader copies, get feedback on whatever you're writing, do like a little bit of behind the scenes of like author in the life of an author or something, Q&A and unboxing if it's your first time getting paperbacks or something, giveaways, read a new release or whatever you're working on, release day, do something fun there, or just ask readers about ideas or research, especially if you write something research heavy. I think that's a great idea. So he just had so many cool things to say. And then this last page, it's not really notes, it's just like things that like an exercise that I did with my friends, my critique group, and it's just about like my goals for the upcoming year and like this exercise that we did about like our goals and what we're going to do to reach these goals. So I had be a top indie YA author, freedom, make at least $333 a day or more, aim for $10,000 a month or more, 6 figures a year or more. So those are really like my main goals. I'd love to make $10,000 a month or more, $20,000 a month or more. And I think I can do that. And it's really about believing in yourself. I'm going to become a top YA indie author. I'm going to have freedom in my life, financial freedom, time freedom, whatever. I'm going to make $10,000 a month or more. There's no ceiling on my potential. So to do this, I wrote down 10 things. So we at first it was easy, and then we were like really struggling to think and kind of getting ideas from each other. But here's what I wrote. Okay, so I said number 1, release every 2 months. Stay consistent. 2, write 2,000 words Monday through Friday. Again, consistency. 3, do 80-20 marketing. So like focus on that 20% of marketing that's going to get me 80% of my results. So probably ads in my newsletter. That's probably the main thing. And like staying engaged in my Facebook group. 4, create super fans, engage them. So again, kind of just what I said. 5, take care of myself. Really important to me. I have a little bit of weight I want to lose. I want to like make sure I'm always drinking water and working out and moving. Meditation, all that. 6, invest in my business with money and learning. So, always be learning, taking courses, learning from the best, and not being afraid to invest money. 7, always improve, pivot, and get better. 8, protect my time, be efficient, hire a team if I need to, but just kind of be smart with my time. I don't want to be working 12, 14-hour days. That's not my goal. My goal is to make good money, but also like work smarter, not harder, and like maybe work like 6 hours a day and, have plenty of time off. 9, read what's hot, always be learning from that, especially my genre. And 10, network and attend conferences. And that for me, like I love doing that anyway. Like I'm an introvert, but I'm actually kind of in the middle of the spectrum. A lot of people go to conferences and they get back home and they're just absolutely drained and wiped out and they can't do anything for a few days after recover. But I'm actually energized after I go to these conferences just because I love hanging out with writers. I love meeting new people who are authors and talking about writing and publishing and marketing and productivity and learning how other people have found success. I mean, that's my jam. I don't get to do that in real life. I don't really get to talk about that with my husband because he's not really like, he doesn't really know about all of this. He knows a little bit and it's hard to explain sometimes. And like he speaks mostly Spanish and, that's another like barrier, but like he knows what's going on and I tell him like good things that are happening and sometimes he asks about it. But in real life, like in my family too, they're proud and like they think it's cool what I'm doing, but they don't really understand everything that goes into it. And like I just like to geek out on all of this. So that only happens online or if I go to conferences. So I'm actually really thankful for like Facebook groups and my critique group and my other friends that I meet with every week, because they like those are the people I get to geek out about all this stuff and talk about, and they keep me on track. So yeah, so that's why I wrote that down. Like, I want to go to NINC in 2019. I want to probably go to 20 books again, and then see what else. See, I might go. Those are probably the two major ones that I want to go to. So yeah, I love doing that, and it's hard because I have two little kids, but I really try to make it happen, and my husband knows, like, helps keep me sane to get away sometimes too, and then go do what I love for a few days, and then come back recharged. So. But that's basically what I learned at the 20 Books to 50K conference. If you go into the 20 Books to 50K Facebook group, so you just have to go in there and request to join. And you just have to promise not to be a BICK, just be nice and everything, and they'll let you right in. And it's such a good resource if you're not a part of that already. If you also search for the 20 Books to 50K Vegas group, they have the videos up of all the presentations that were in the main room. There's a few of the breakout ones. The only one I didn't have in here was Martha Carr's. That's an excellent one as well that I attended, and that's because I was recording it live for them, and that's why I didn't take notes. But Martha Carr's, like, you can actually watch this for yourself. You don't have to listen to my condensed version. You can, if you want to learn more in depth about something that I talked about, or just want to know like the best ones that I heard. Martha Carr, she did rapid release. Michael Laron talking about like fear and productivity. James Blotch from SPF, who did about video. Michael Cooper, definitely another must watch, who did about like ads and advertising and all of that marketing. Craig Martell and Krishan Keller, I think. Keller. They had another couple good ones, more motivational. And then Alex from K-Lytics, he had like a good short one. It had some good stats in there. I want to say those are the main ones that I thought were really good and that there are videos for. So, but they have all of them available there, the main conference ones. So if you want to go check that out for yourself, again, it's the 20 Books to 50K group, and then there's also 20 Books to 50K Vegas group that has all the videos in there. You can go watch them for yourself and see what you think. Maybe see if you want to go next year. I'd love to see you there. So that's it, you guys. So 37 minutes later, here we are. So those are the major takeaways that I got from the 20 Books to 50K conference. I highly recommend joining the group. You can swing it next year. It's not too expensive. It's definitely the cheapest, most valuable conference you can go to. Get the biggest bang for your buck for sure. Have fun in Vegas. And yeah, if you happen to have any questions or comments for me, leave them below and I'd be happy to chat with you, or email me hello@writermom.net. And yeah, let me know what you think. And go check out my website if you haven't already. Sign up for the ready for a nap over here. Definitely go check out writermom.net. Sign up for the Saturday morning newsletter. Tons more information and resources as I found out, and talking about my business and how I'm gonna get to all these awesome goals. So, you guys so much for joining me. I think my daughter's home, so I'm gonna go let her in. Bye.